Hello and welcome to another episode of Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy, the trade deadline episode. I am your host David Butler and this is your midweek episode. The Cubs are coming off a nice win against the Brewers, but not until after they got crushed in the first two games. Still, it was nice to see the Cubs get to Freddie Peralta on Wednesday. The Cubs made 4 trades in the last 2 days, adding 1 starter, 2 relievers, and a super utility player. They did not, however, get what we were all wanting them to get and what I firmly believe that they needed, which was a high-impact starting pitcher. I like the pieces that were added, but I'm still disappointed that we couldn't, at the very least, get a guy like Merrill Kelly. Remember, the best way to help grow the podcast is to listen to every episode, like the episode, share the episode with your friends, and if you have not yet, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Join our Facebook group at Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the same handle, Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy. It was not a great series against the Milwaukee Brewers for sure. We knew it was going to be a challenge, and I said ultimately we just needed to get the one win. The Cubs did just that in Game 3 of the series, but got knocked around pretty good in the first 2 games. Matthew Boyd and Colin Ray were the starters, and the bullpen took their fair shares of runs as well, especially Ryan Presley. After Tuesday, he had given up runs in 4 of his last 5 appearances. That's just not going to get it done. Consequently, after some of the moves today with the trades, he was DFA'd. The offense has got to be better too, though. The defense as well. The first 2 games were kind of reminiscent of last week against the Royals. They just kept beating themselves. But this time it wasn't, the Royals kind of beat them too and took advantage of it. But the Milwaukee Brewers are going to take advantage of anything you do wrong. You cannot make those mistakes against that team. Preview for this coming series with the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles coming into the series at 50-59 and were clear-cut sellers, trading 6 players headlined by Ryan O'Hearn, Charlie Morton, and Cedric Mullins. An offense that hasn't performed well on the road, on paper at least, got even weaker. The Orioles are 6-4 in their last 10, though. They are 23-32 on the road, and struggle mightily to score on the road, averaging 3.64 runs per game, which is 28th in the league. They also struggle with pitching on the road with a team ERA of 4.60, which is 27th best in the majors. Not very good. Their offense still has the likes of Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg, Adley Rutschman, and Jackson Holliday, though, so the Cubs pitching staff will still need to be mindful of them. Their pitching is led by Trevor Rogers, Dean Kremer, and Tomoyuki Sagano. The pitching matchups on Friday will be Trevor Rogers, a left-handed pitcher who has fared pretty well for the Orioles, versus Cade Horton. Saturday, Tomoyuki Sagano versus Ben Brown, and Sunday, still unannounced for the Orioles, against Matthew Boyd. I would expect this to be Brown's last start. I went and looked. Mike Soroka, the starting pitcher that we traded for, last pitched on Tuesday. I would guess that he will pitch sometime against the Reds and in the beginning of that series at the early part of next week. He would be set up on 5 days rest to pitch on Monday. So we'll see how that plays out. But that would be my guess. I think that Brown probably has a short leash, but starts, and hopefully he pitches the way he did this last time. I talked at length about our wish list with starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and third base bench help. The way that some of the relief pitching has been lately, they have been awful. 27th in the league since the All-Star break. I think that relief pitching kind of jumped up above that third base bench help, and that showed in some of the trades that they made. We got Taylor Rogers from the Pirates, but he has pitched for the Reds all season. They had picked him up, I think, in the Key Brian Hayes trade, I think. I'm not 100% sure about that, but somehow we got him from the Pirates, even though he pitched for the Reds. So, Taylor has had a solid season. He has an ERA of 2.45 in 40 games he has appeared in. He has 33 innings. His expected ERA, though, is 3.96, so it suggests some luck because his FIP is also at 4.12. But still, a solid member to add to the bullpen. I would guess that Gavin Hollowell or Brooks Kriske will be either DFA'd or sent to the minors before it's all said and done. Andrew Kittredge is also joining the team. I think he would probably take Presley's spot on that. He has a ERA at 3.45 so far for the season, but been a very solid player. Like his expected ERA is right around there. FIP, he has a good solid track record as well. I think will probably be even better than what he has for Baltimore. Looking at peripherals, looking at his history of what he's done. He played for the Cardinals last year, had a very good ERA at 2.80, and was very solid for them. I think that he will be a nice addition to the bullpen. The starter was Mike Soroka, coming from Washington. He was 3-8, 16 starts. He only has 4 quality starts. He is a guy who is very, very good early on. Again, the first 2 times through the batting order, and then that 3rd time he gets blown up. So I would expect that he will have a short leash as well, as far as not going into that 3rd time through the order, or at least not too much in depth with that. So that would be my expectations with that. I've talked at length about my hope to get Willie Castro on this team, and that came to light. So that's fantastic. I think Willie Castro will be a huge, huge addition to this team. He can play anywhere in the outfield. He can play anywhere in the infield, outside of catcher. I would guess he can do that. He's very athletic. He's not like a stud defender at any spot, but he's a good, solid defender at all of those places. And this guy can hit lefties very, very well. He is coming off of a rough July. He's had a rough start to the second half, but the Twins have really, really scuttled. He hit pretty good against us, if anybody remembers. I think that this will be a big, big addition and will help take some pressure, even more pressure off Matt Shaw. I expect Matt Shaw to start a lot still. Willie Castro can play in many different spots. He can spell all the outfielders along with Seiya. He can spell Dansby. He can spell Nico. And give all of those guys a breather at times. And is a much, much better bat coming off the bench as a pinch hitter than anybody that we've had so far this year. By a ton. I want to talk about one trade that I really, really don't understand why we didn't make it. Was from Merrill Kelly. He ended up going to the Texas Rangers. And I'm not saying in place of Mike Soroka. I'm saying in addition to Mike Soroka. Merrill Kelly has been absolutely fantastic this year. And has been, I think, an under-the-radar starting pitcher for quite a few years now. He was traded for Cole Drake, the number 5 prospect in the Texas Rangers system, Mitch Bratt, the number 9 prospect, and David Hageman, the number 13 prospect, on a farm system that was ranked 29th in the league. 29 out of 30. And they got the 5, 9, and 13 pitcher. Are you telling me they're getting Merrill Kelly to help anchor that rotation and slot him in between Shota and Matthew Boyd, however order you want? I would say Boyd, then that, and then Shota. For Kevin Alcantara and Christian Hernandez, our number 6 and 9 prospects, and a far better farm system than what the Rangers have. So those rankings matter. And a much better system, our higher ranked players are far better. I don't see why the Rangers wouldn't have taken that. I don't understand why we wouldn't have done that. I just don't know. I mean, I'm only speculating, boys and girls. I get that. Maybe something like that was made as an offer. I don't know. I hope to find out more. I hope it can be more can come out. I know that Jed Hoyer talked about the fact that starting pitching was at a premium. Anybody that was under team control for more than through next year, most teams were asking for an arm and a leg for. I get that. I just think, seeing what Merrill Kelly was traded for, I firmly believe we could have made some kind of similar offer and it not killed our farm system. I don't get it. But I also firmly believe that it would have been worth trading Moises Ballesteros, even Jefferson Rojas, and somebody else higher up the ranking system for a guy like Joe Ryan, Mackenzie Gore, all that kind of thing. I truly believe that it would have been worth doing that to get a high-impact starter who could absolutely dominate in a playoff series. That's what we need to trade. We need to play for the series or the division, and we need to play for the playoffs. We needed those guys for the playoffs. Mike Soroka, nothing against the guy. He's just not that guy. He's not that high-impact guy. I get we got J-Mo coming back, but he's not that guy either, boys and girls. Maybe when it's blowing in, he is. But he's not on a regular basis. Not when the weather is conducive to hitters. He still allows a lot of fly balls. Is Javier Assad going to be the savior here? He's a good, solid pitcher, but he's not a frontline starter pitcher. He's never shown to be that yet. I'm a little frustrated. I don't know if everybody can tell. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join our Facebook group at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy. Leave some posts or comments in there about what you'd like to hear or what you thought about today's episode. However you subscribe to your podcast, please like and subscribe to Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy so that you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. Also, if you feel so inclined, please make sure to leave a 5-star review and leave me some comments. If you are enjoying this podcast, make sure to tell and share it with any of your friends who might be a Cubs or baseball fan. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs.